Oh dear.
Zar says, sounds like Zar had to reboot, so we may be back live. So, beyond the rod block, we have the crown? No crown for Shadow Walker, though, so...
Does have the Oxy at least?
It's a very sad walk back out of the dungeon, though. You can just imagine the Hulk walking away music here.
Aww. I will have to step away for one brief moment. My apologies.
Okay, nope. Alright, Falconic diving into Northwest Castle and immediately leaving. Alright. Still looking for Carrie. Where is she hiding? Nobody here but us dragons. And now the wheels start to spin for Falconic. Where could Carrie be hiding? And time for the Grand Dungeon revisit. And he finds a bunch of treasure chests, opens 2, resets. Still has no idea. Falconic deep into the think tank now. Shadow checking out the key block. And he finds Elfland Castle and doesn't have the herb. So he is slowly building up a lot of information, and Falconic is now headed in the right direction. And he has found Carrie, so all he has to do is remember where Temple of Fiends is, and this is a straight shot to the end of the game. And with a 42 black belt in the party, this should go pretty well for him. It did not go very well for Carrie. That was a one-shot. Oof. Is he completely out of save items? This could be a long walk back. He's just gonna get some steak to go. Yeah, and that is there's not a lot of absorb. Will's gonna drop his slab off. Angry's gonna find the key. Shadow Walker still looking for where that crown is. And no, Falconic, you cannot buy 10 cubes. You can, however, buy 10 houses. Bottle for Will from the vendor, or excuse me, the Toga party. And what do we got in the white magic shop? Level 8 cure, and level 8 lock 2. Well, you'll never use those.
Alright, I'm back. What have we missed?
So Bottle was picked up from Lefen, so I'm assuming that's gonna give Will the tail here. Falconic revisited a few dungeons before finally remembering that there was a dungeon attached to Onrek, and is now headed to the Temple of Fiends. So we've got the short Temple of Fiends, and he's not even going to check a chest, he's just going to go run right into the Kraken fight. And rip Red Mage. And he's going to run right into it again, because this is not going to take him very long to get back to where he was.
So a fun feature that is now available in Alpha is that you can just go straight to the last floor. But you will still have to deal with fiends. On either side, heading to Chaos, there will be 2 fiend trap tiles. They were randomized. You will not know what fiend you have to fight until you step on that tile, and they work like any normal trap tile would. So if you accidentally step the wrong direction, and then step back onto it, you have to fight said fiend again. I've done that before. Awful.
So he goes right instead of left, finds Carrie and Lich instead of Kraken and Tiamat, and I'm sure he is perfectly happy with that.
And now time for Chaos.
Well, time for a victory lap first. Oh, you're not done, buddy. Evil men could have death touch, you never know. Oh, it's an actual Chaos fight. Never mind.
Looks like Will Cleos has got the herb from the fairy, means that the Elf King is going to have tail.
Ooh, that is a lot of absorb. But that's a lot of crits.
That is a lot of crits. Now Split Punch is actually the one who worked that in. So currently in the alpha, as Falconic finishes, currently in the alpha is a patch that Split Punch put in that will tell you how many critical hits you actually delivered to the enemy.
Yeah, Falconic finishing this up with a time of 1:20.50. We'll see if we can get him in for an interview. And we're joined by Falconic, GG.
Thank you.
So the only person that brought the black belt,
GG.
and seemed to have paid off.
So
pretty handsomely.
the only person that brought the black belt
and seemed to have paid off.
Nobody else brought the black belt with these percentages
and couple of fiends for you.
20% per key item.
Oh.
Nobody else brought the black belt. That's pretty surprising. These flags kind of scream black belt, but I think you guys saw at the beginning I couldn't keep that guy alive. The red mage has got all the levels to begin with.
Eventually flipped on its head, though. Looks like Will's going to find the third ribbon in the key lock chest in Elfland Castle. So your nearest competitor was Shadowwalker for a long time, who just could not find where that crown was hiding.
Yeah, with this game mode, it notes... I mean, you have to take notes, obviously, but like I lost Onrek for a little while there. I didn't mark it on my notes, so I was kind of scrambling. I found the Oxale and I had no idea where to go. You guys probably saw me just kind of running around in circles, but it really is just about taking notes and trying to stay sharp.
Shadowworker still hasn't found the crown, by the way.
Where was the crown? It was in a loose chest, right?
The crown was in a loose chest. It's that last chest before the stairs towards mermaids normally.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't found it. I'm not sure where that floor ended up being in this, but he needs that for the TNT.
I can tell you where it was. It was in Cardia Grassi.
Well, he's in the right area. He just needs to double back to that.
No, he's going away. No, Shadowwalker. Well, it looks like Hager Canuck's gonna go take on Mormek and the Bridge of Destiny.
I was a little underwhelmed with Warmech tonight.
Mormek didn't look like it was hitting as hard.
No, it wasn't. I think it actually hit me before I got an Invis 2 off on maybe the White Mage, and the White Mage survived, so pretty weak.
To be fair, you were at a higher level than most people normally are when they get to Warmech.
Yeah, that's fair. How long did it take everyone to get their first initial levels? That's really the hard part with this game mode, where it's like very, very low encounters, and you have to find a trap tile that you can survive.
So we saw a lot of people find the wolves, the wolf trap tile in volcano, one of the volcano floors, and that was the big starter. A lot of people went from like 1 to 7 on that.
Well, Cleosis has gotten his TNT. Now he has to turn that into dwarves for the chime. He still has to find Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie eluded me for a little bit. Wasn't that the Ordeals, which was on rack Oxale block?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This is fun. I mean, I don't know that we'll have this game mode for the next tournament, like Ice was saying last time I interviewed him. But for the league, I definitely see this as being something. It's just you're taking a game that's already random and you're throwing more randomness to it. I love it. This is really, really fun stuff.
Yeah, one of the things that I like about the Dragon Warrior Randomizer is the aspect of exploration that's involved, and I feel like that when you shuffle the entrances and all the floors, even though it's not like completely random dungeons, you still get that same feeling of exploration, and that's kind of cool and refreshing.
So Dragon Warrior, their entire world map is mixed up, right?
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool, but at the same time, with as big as I don't know how big the Dragon Warrior world actually is, but man, that would be rough to learn or to have to adjust to. Yeah, with this world map, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's like 6 towns and 4 caves. So it's I mean, that's an oversimplification, but it is definitely a lot easier to do a world map shuffle in that than it would be in Final Fantasy.
Oof, and Shadow Walker is just checking every single location he can think of.
Yeah, that's a pretty good sign that notes weren't taken well and you're really just kind of spinning your wheels trying to figure out where to go.
Well, now he's gonna be on this wild goose chase that ends up with him getting the tail.
Oh, is that what Bottle gave? Was tail?
Mm-hmm. Well, Bottle releases the fairy, which gives the herb, which we think gives tail, but no one's actually found the elf prince to turn it in.
I think I found the elf prince, but I didn't care about him because I didn't have the herb at the time.
Yeah,
Oof, and Hangry Canuck going and finding assets, but also not having the crown.
Titan's Tunnel East was cube blocked, and it ended up turning into Elfin.
Oh, thank you. See, everyone, take your notes.
Yep.
And if you don't want to take notes, full clear. Don't ever come back.
The first time I played this game mode was in one of Czar's Saturday Night Shenanigans, so it was this plus like 400% enemies. And, it was when we were first trying to do fetch quests as well, and I learned pretty much the hard way that not every fetch quest is worth doing. You're very well going to end up getting I think that night I got like a lamp gauntlet after turning in 7 different chest planes. So on this one I really didn't want to, I go moded a lot of dungeons. I figured there's not even a point to check. I've got Masmoons, I've got a black belt, I've got my ribbons, I have the loot and the key, so I just sped through a lot of it and didn't even worry about the bottle quest chain or anything.
Have you ever gotten hit by the Sarda Special?
The Sarda Special. Explain that one to me.
The Sarda Special was when this was still very, very much in alpha, and Will has gotten his chime.
Nice.
The Sarda Special was when this was very, very much still in alpha. This was just starting with the... Wait, Will, are you going to give this a Hray Dwarf? Well,
Oh, I didn't get
hooray!
Hooray Dwarf.
Hooray!
Dang. Sorry, guys.
The Stardust Special was when this was very much still in alpha, and we were testing things out, testing what was going to go on, and a lot of things weren't incentivized, so you ended up having certain fetch quests that would be incentivized and certain fetch quests that wouldn't be, just because there weren't enough items to go around with all of the other places that have been incentivized.
Uh-huh.
So what ended up happening is that the Stardust Special, which we got on multiple seeds, was a cabin. And there was an actual particular reason for why it was specifically a cabin that was thrown in. I'm just not sure why, because it was, like, worked out.
Well, that makes sense a little bit, because if you, for instance, have if you do free airship on some of these seeds, and the floater was going to be the incentivized item in a shop, it turns into a cabin. So there's something in the game code, I think, that maybe just kind of leans towards
Oh,
cabin.
that might have been it. That might have totally been it.
Yeah, Meridian in chat says the loot is replaced for the cabin.
Oh, well, there we go.
Somewhere,
Thank you,
somehow,
Meridian.
that's related, I think.
Might have been Shardon, maybe? I don't know, I just remember it was weird.
Oh, come on, Meridian. What's wrong with having two airships?
That makes sense if it's Shard Hunt, because that would have been the original short Topher, which you don't need the loot. It's given to you for free, so wherever the loot would have been given, Sarda,
It was a
that would
cabin.
have now been a cabin. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yay, we figured
Hooray
stuff
for problem
out.
solving. Alright, Hangry Canuck has gotten
Go ahead.
still little warped rounds. Will Cleosis has gotten his third orb, which is the Earth Orb. Problem is, I don't know if he's got the Oxtail. I think he should. I think Oliverner should have the Oxtail at the point. Shadow Walker's still looking around for that heckin' thing.
It's really good to see new people in here. I like that. I mean, I'm pretty new myself, but I like seeing a newer wave, so I can kind of be the sophomore here. Fun.
Yeah, that is rather interesting to see. No, Shadow Walker, go the other way!
What's he looking for, Shadow? What's the thing he's missing?
He needs the crown.
Okay, so he needs to go to Cardiac Grassy.
Yep. Shadow Walker, go back! Go back! No, not the direction! Oh. Well, Will Cleosis is getting his final fiend down and killing Carrie. And Canuck, I think, is just all sorts of turnarounds. That's Will's final orb. He's ready to head to Temple of Fiends and finish.
I sure hope he goes right, because I went left and got smacked in the face.
Yeah, the fast didn't even go off. So it was, before the body hit the ground, you reset.
Yep. I mean, you had life 2 charges, didn't you?
I did, but I wasn't about to try to go another round where Kraken was hitting for 1,000.
Oh gosh, that's how much you hit for?
Yeah, it was like 990 or something on my red
That's
mage.
awful. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like Edge said, the body didn't even hit the ground. I was like, nope, don't care. Tiamat, I don't care what's to the right, I'm taking it. And it turned out, it's not too fun when it's Carrie and Lich on one side and Tiamat and Kraken on the other. That's really not the way this was designed to be, but it is random. But the right side was definitely easier. The nuclear at the beginning kind of tickled, but it's better than getting hit for 1,000.
And Will goes left. And will there be anything left of Will after this? He's being nice. He's gonna shoot some ink.
Well, Kraken survives round 2. But Will.
Alright, get our first look at Tiamat.
Starts off with a lit 2, nothing too major.
Alright, stack those invis 2s. And that's a lot of absorb.
Oof.
Oh,
that's not good.
Tiamat. Throw some more invis charges out, quick.
Are more invis charges gonna matter at this point?
Not when he's dead.
That'll do it.
It's more surprising that even though somebody didn't take a black belt, nobody chose to dance somebody with this XP scaling.
Oh goodness, Shadow Walker's still just going around looking for everything he might have missed. Well, Galeos is going into the Chaos fight, gonna start off with a bunch of Invis 2s and a fast. Chaos is only hitting for about 58 damage, and that's on a black mage of all things, so that's really not much. Gonna throw some in more Invis 2 charges and a temper, and just gonna see if he can press A and slap him a bunch of times.
Yeah, 2 for 98 is not gonna scare well.
It's not gonna scare me either. That's... oh wow. 11 to hit, 644 damage. I'm honestly surprised he's not trying a bunch of Banes at this point.
Well, there's 921, and a nice 3 comes out.
He's still got enough health to take a nuke if it happens.
Oh, there's the Bane. It's going for those fantasy points.
Well, Bane isn't happening, unfortunately. And there we go.
GG, Will.
Will's finished with a time of 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 7 seconds. As both of our runners are running around with a little bit of confusion.
And we're joined by Will now. GG, Will.
Edge, thank you. Thank you very much. Is Falconic still around? GG's, my friend.
GG, sir.
Yeah, nice time.
So, Will, what made you choose to go with a fighter over a black belt?
More experience with a fighter. Obviously, it worked out pretty well with the weapons that came up, but it's kind of negated by the lightning 3 sticks anyway, so you really didn't need the weapons until pretty much the end game. But I'm just not a black belt guy. You'll essentially never see me do that. I've always been fighter since I was a kid, and that's where I'm comfortable with. And I just really don't have any interest in it.
Well, GG.
Yeah, so how did you enjoy the forced double dip of Dwarf Cave?
I tried to stay away from it best that we could. I was glad that I had the adamant at least going in and the mystic key. I figured it was the chime eventually. I was hoping that the crown or the herb turned into it, so I could figure out what was in there because I was missing the 2 fiends, and wasn't what I wanted, but it worked out. Not bad for an alpha seed, at a decently high percentage, for an hour and a half time against a great competition in Falconic.
Oh, shucks.
Had I perished in the first, I was pretty sure I had it towards the end. That's why I was kind of, just kind of having a good time with it. I pretty much knew I had chaos. Had I not gotten that, I would have gone in class change and I would have gone after them equipping the Vorpal sword to go ahead and take out this game had that been needed. Turns out it wasn't needed in this case, but I was ready and prepared to go ahead and use that method and technique to make sure I sealed out the game had I needed it.
Sounds like a good strategy. However, chaos was not bad. Certainly not like last night.
Yeah, anything was better than that chaos last night. Nuke after nuke, followed by Cure 4 in that match. So, I'll pass.
I ended up getting a fight like that in a practice seed before my match with Trystal, and I was just thinking, oh, is this gonna be a bad omen? My practice seed before the match, couldn't even finish it, but it all worked out. Double nuke, though, there is not much you can do against that. You just have to hope the turn order works in your favor.
Yeah, both of our other runners, Canuck and Shadow, are unfortunately still running around because neither of them have the crown.
The crown, it was in one of the Sea Shrine floors, I think. And
yeah, it was the chest right before Vanilla Mermaid floor.
I'm trying to think of what other items were loose. That's all I can think of, was the crown. And then the early fetch quests that I got were the ribbon and the opal bracelet for incentivized locations, so I wasn't getting those items to progress, whether it be the Mystic Key or something like that, or in progression for the experience boost. I kept popping ribbon and opal bracelet, and I was like, ah.
Yeah, Canuck getting his herb from the fairy. Okay, so I think Shadow's in the right spot. I think he's in the right one.
Yeah.
Yep, this is it.
Oh, thank goodness. Is he remembering that he didn't check chests on this floor? Or is he remembering that he forgot, like, one or two specifically? Come on, Shadow. Check these chests.
Hey, Will.
Falconic.
Did you, I saw you didn't Dan anyone. Did you decide that you weren't going to Dan, or did you kind of waver on that at the beginning and just forget about it, or choose not to?
With the high experience boost, and I was going to go after the key items, like I said earlier, it turned out being the opal bracelet and a ribbon, and I couldn't get anything going with those key items. So I thought about shifting to that. I did a little bit when the black mage just happened to fall on the ground. But with those boosts, I knew that all the light warriors would be right around level 30 towards the end game, no matter what, if I kept them. And I didn't feel the need at all at those percentages to have a Supremo warrior. I felt much better about the party itself, especially with the light 3 sticks that I found really early and was able to get 4 of.
Oh no, this is going to lead Shadow Walker on a wild goose chase. He just found the key.
Oh no, Shadow Walker, please check the chest on your way back up. Please, I'm begging you. Just check the things on your way back up.
He's skipping all the other treasure chests on the way here.
I hope he knows that chest exists. He is still really new to this.
Yeah, hats off to Shadow Walker. Volunteered. We were looking at doing the exhibition last night, and he was right there front line jumping in. So kudos and much respect to, a new player in the community diving in head first. And that's just great for the community. We've had a whole bunch of people do this in the last couple months, and Shadow Walker, just a great example of it.
Heck, I remember Arson Horse doing almost the exact same thing. Decided to be an off-stream runner for one of the alpha races at some point before the tournament, and look at him now. He's in Final Four.
I remember that. It was Minochi against Trystal, and right before the Swiss tournament. And Falconic, you did the same thing.
No! Shadow, check the chest, and he's running away from it. Oh no.
Does he know that there's chests on this floor?
I don't know.
That would be bad.
He's leaving, though. Oh no. Oh dear, I don't think he knows the chests are there. Now he's probably gonna go all over looking for a chest that he can unlock with the key, but oh, this is... It's not gonna get him anywhere. he's going back and checking locations. He's already checked 3 times. Oof.
Was that the first one to take out that tin can Warmack?
You were, I don't know if you were the first one, but you were certainly the one at the lowest level. And stacking those Invis 2s and you just basically rolled up a newspaper and beat him to death with it.
Shadow Walker was the first person to find more than 1 Fiend. Because Falconic, you, Will, and Shadow, you guys all found 1 Fiend apiece. Well, you found Kraken first, Falconic, I think you found Tiamat first, and Shadow found Carrie first or something? Or something like that. One of you each found a Fiend apiece. No one found Lich.
Yeah, obviously. I thought Onrak was behind the Chime. And I knew that the blocks would lead to something, whether it was the Oxiel or the Chime. Ended up being, I think it was both of them. So I figured at least 1 Fiend was behind it, and I figured it more of Onrak was the Chime. I figured Warp and Exit were there. Warp was there. But I also avoided the Cardia Islands and its many entrances for quite a long time, figuring that my opponents would head directly there or very soon. And so I was going to go directly to the Melmond Titans area and use those entrances because no one ever really usually thinks to go there from what I've observed. And so I like to go there early and hope to gain an advantage. And I kind of did with the early Lightning 3 sticks.
So when you have the opportunity to, what do you think is a good opportunity to check the locations of sort of the far-off locations like Lefane and Ordeals? Because we noticed for all the runners, it took them quite a while to check those spots. You usually just put those off until you've dug out easier to get to locations.
I don't. Same concept. People aren't going to go there. Zardia is the only player that I've seen that goes as early as I do, because if there's something there, should it be a Temple of Fiends location? That's how I won the last exhibition, was the Temple of Fiends was there and I was able to find it early. The Canary Castle, I didn't find that till really late. I guarantee everyone found that almost probably an hour before me, so it burned me there because I never went to Volcano. Instead, I go to Lefane and that sort of stuff early because people don't want to walk there. They don't want to check those things. They always tend to save them for last, so I'm going to jump on that opportunity and look to gain an advantage for something like that. And hopefully the canoe came early for me, at least, and so I think I headed directly to Waterfall and Onrak, being that that they're canoe locked. And I think I went to go to Ordeals. I had changed my drop down on my tracker to head to Ordeals when I was in the area. And I think I got caught up needing key items. I was looking at key items and I'm like, okay, I've got a problem here. I fell into what I think a lot of other players do is I don't want to make that walk. What if it's nothing? Of course, it ended up being everything, but it was blocked anyway. So it was a good thing that I didn't check it as I was gonna, because I knew I needed the key items had there been another block. Well, actually, that could have been the only block now that I think of it. But had it been a dead-end Cardia Island, then I'm just spinning my wheels even more than I was without the key items and the opportunities to get to different places in the game. So
when you're presented with a location that's blocked, like the cube block or the Oxiel or the Chime, is that something that you prioritize as soon as you get it?
Kind of. I want to badly, but it's burned me so many times when I've done it before. Poogle, I think we had a shenanigans race a few weeks ago where you absolutely obliterated everybody by prioritizing something like that, whereas a lot of people didn't, or they didn't have access to the block item. So I certainly do try to do that, but if I'm able to stay away from it and get more of the entrances, then I can whittle down what it is that I'm missing. Elfland Castle I was missing, and I was pretty sure it was behind either a rod or a cube block. since I had found Dwarf Cave and Matoya's earlier. Those are kind of those 3 locations that give key items usually, especially when I had already had the opal bracelet out of the pool. So I always dig waterfall as soon as I can find it to cross it off the list. So I try to prioritize it, but I try to put it off as well, depending on the other locations that I found. If I find the Elfland Castle, the Northwest Castle, quickly, then odds are behind that block is a dead-end Cardia Island. I mean, it could be the Ice Cave, it could be the bottom of marsh that's incentivized, absolutely, but it puts a likelihood of nothing there until I eliminate those other key areas with Keylog chests or, Astos, something along those lines that I can get to, and I can narrow down that idea of where those locations more than likely are, which it did basically end up working out in this match.
Well, I am going to actually have to dip out early. I will hand it off to Edgeworth, and Volcanic, well, if you want to stick around, please by all means be more than willing to. I do have to, unfortunately, bounce early.
Google, thank you so much for commentating, and look where Shadow's at right when you're leaving. Where he's back at.
Thanks, Google.
Oh, well, there's the gold bracelet in that fine chest. He's gonna find it. No,
You're so
come on.
close. Just
I'm
go
sticking
south,
around.
young
I'm
man.
sticking around until he gets this. I'm marking this in the tracker, and then I am leaving. I'm waiting until he gets this dang ground.
He has to know. He's gonna go bottom left. It's gonna wrap around. At this point, he's checking every room. He has to. Even if he doesn't know there's a chest here, I think this is the sign of somebody that's just like, what the heck is going on? Every door I see, I'm opening.
It's not this room, it's the next one.
He'll get it. He's gonna go top right first before bottom right, I think. Yep. So it's the next one. Here it is. Here it is. Go right. Go right.
Come on, get it.
Oh,
Yes!
He's got it. He's got it.
Alright, I've marked it off. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, Google.
Stick around to finish watching Hangry Canuck and Shadow Walker. Give them all your support and your energy, because this has been a heck of a ride.
Thank you for commentating, Google. Thank you.
Anytime.
Will, I also agree with you. I was kind of listening in while I was going and grabbing a drink and everything. When you have the entrance and floor shuffle, in and of itself, the whole idea is to what I do, and there are far better people than me, but with the tracker, I'll step foot inside somewhere, see what it is, mark it as a dungeon, a town, or sorta, something like that. I'll usually leave. My whole priority is to map out the world, get all the information I can, and then based off what I've seen, go dive the dungeon I think might be the most forgiving.
Right. Especially in the early game, I learned this from Minochi, actually. Money. He loves money. Selling Mazmoons, selling opal bracelets, and it kind of changed my game a little bit. And again, going back to those lightning 3 sticks that I found early, I was pretty sure no one would find those. Obviously, the Mazmoon being for sale in the beginning, I'm like, okay, all right, I need money. So I put off that strategy a little bit more, tried to find an area to where I could access chests quickly to get that money to build up that inventory to have weapons to attack, because there was essentially no magic that could really mow them down. There was I don't think I ever even saw Nuke, now that I think of it.
I think it was level 6.
Okay. But it's obviously later. But you're going to get charges of that in this type of design. So I wanted to do that. I wanted to jump in a little bit earlier instead of putting it off, because usually I certainly like that strategy as well. But I wanted money and, maybe luck into a key item and, find some of those locations and find some of those blocks, again, so that I can potentially put off those blocks, find the other areas, and maybe never go to those blocks because I found Elfland Castle.
Images had crack?
That's new.
Wow.
I thought they had Blizzard. I thought they had Blizzard.
But yeah,
out of nowhere.
Mono seems to be teaching all of us lessons. That's the very reason I didn't do a fighter, because I knew that with all the gear you're going to find out in the world that's for a fighter, and it sells so well, that was how I was going to get my money. And I knew if this were Mono running with us tonight, you and I both know he's doing 4 red.
Yep. Yep. With cookies hidden in the hats.
So Shadow is missing Earth, and that was in Mirage. So what is he missing to get the chime? That was from the dwarf somewhere, right?
It was the TNT. I got it late.
Yeah, so Crown turns into TNT, turns into Chime.
Turns into Lich, turns into Go mode for Shadow.
Yeah, so a nice long. It's funny because there's two long quest chains, and one of them is the tail, and one of them is exactly what he's looking for. He's got the key now. He's not gonna open the chest here.
Did anybody find the ice cave? I never saw it, and it was incentivized.
Yeah, it was Melmon. It
Oh,
was.
did I miss Melman?
It is Melmon. Fork.
Oh yeah, I wrote that as Marsh Split. Never went back to it.
That was the opal bracelet, I believe. One of the first places I did.
Yeah, the other split was hiding Dwarf and Kraken. You definitely needed to do that.
That one I did do just because I think this is where it kind of bites you. I dipped into Melman, saw it was a dungeon, marked it as a dungeon, and then left. But then the Kraken and Dwarf split, which was Cardia double bottom, you didn't find that split until a couple floors down. So at that point, it was just kind of like, okay, I'm here at the split already. I'm not going to leave and come back. So continued on. So sometimes you just get lucky in this game. And that was obviously lucky because Ice Cave, even if it was incentivized, that what could it have given? Nothing important. He is just absolutely demolishing that air cave. Hey, Lyra. Thank you guys for tuning in, by the way. I know this is a weird one to watch. It can kind of fry your brain if you're not used to seeing the floors and entrances shuffled, but it's fun, and you can jump in and play it right now. alpha.finalfantasyrandomizer.com. Edge, have you played this yet? The alpha or the floor entrance shuffle? I don't think I've seen you around in our shenanigans.
Yeah, I've played it before. I love this mode. Just been putting a lot of work into the tournament practice. It's kind of hard switching my brain from one to the other.
That's right. You're one of the few still in the race here, so I can understand that. Have you guys scheduled your next match? Do we have anything to look forward to?
Nothing yet.
There he is. He's got his TNT finally. So that TNT is going to turn into Chime. Chime leads you over to the Mirage Tower. So in, what, maybe 5 minutes, if Shadow took good notes, he's going to light that fourth orb. And you guys can tell me, has he been in Waterfall? Does he know where TOF is?
I think so. He's just got to find where that... Just got to remember. He's been everywhere at this point. He just has to remember where that everywhere is.
So he needs to make his way to Cardia double bottom at this point. We know that that's where the Sea Shrine split was. If you went left, I think you found Kraken. If you went right, you found the Dwarf Cave. Dwarf Cave's going to give him the TNT turn-in. TNT turn-in is going to give the Chime, and the rest is history from there. If he can put those pieces together, I don't think he's going to have any trouble with Lich. I think Lich was, I believe I killed it in one hit. Will, I don't know how it fared for you, but not a problem.
Who?
Exactly. So, Edge, what's been the deal with Canuck? Is it just double dipping places he's been before, maybe not taking good notes? Has he had unfortunate wipes?
He's also looking for the crown.
Oh. So, Will, we were talking earlier, if you're still here with us, maybe not the future for a tournament, but definitely a league. Do you think if a league pops up with this round or these flags, you're in?
I'd be one of the first people to sign up the moment that I knew it.
Oh.
This is by far my favorite game, version of this game. Falconic, I know you've said it before, you call it your wheelhouse, so I think I'm much better at this than I am at the other game. The other, a more linear game, even though it's not most linear anymore. But I absolutely love this version. I play it after work, sometimes in the morning, 2-3 times a week, just to relax post-work, and I just absolutely love it, and I do think it's the future of Final Fantasy Randomizer.
Canuck looks like he's spinning just a little bit. He knows where the dwarves are. He just found them, but doesn't have his TNT yet. Still missing 3 orbs on his part. I don't think I've seen Canuck do floor entrance before. This may be his first time, and it's a rude awakening, but you'll learn very, very quickly. I mean, the first time we all did it, it just kind of leaves you shell-shocked. You can track it all you want, but it's just a whole different beast. But you adjust pretty quickly, I think. I don't know too many people that have played it and then didn't want to play it again. Will, where did you do your initial grinding to get past level 1?
2 warriors alive, and at that point I had 1 lightning 3-stick. I think I took out a group of undead, which was in the split of Marsh Cave trying to get out. Lost a couple warriors, and I was able to lightning 3 a group of undead on my way out. And that was really the only fight that I had for a little while. And then I continued to do that strategy of trying to get money, sell the flame sword. To try to equip and then get out in that world and try to find those key items. How about you, Falconic?
I found a Cardia Isle that it was Cardia Double Bottom. It's the same entrance that led to the Dwarf Cave and Kraken. First floor volcano, when you walked in, the trap trial to the right was just a couple wolves that I was able to take out with Zap. And then after I gained a few levels, the trap tile in that same room was Nightmares and Badman. I kind of dug in a little bit and found a light 3-staff in a chest. Had a Mazmoon at that point, so I just kind of went to town. I think I went to 15, 16, and the rest was snowballed from there. And that's another thing about these alpha flags. When you do the trap tiles, in and of themselves, they're not too important. I mean, if you can find like a third eye grind where it's 3 eyes or 4 agamas, those are great. But when you combine it like you did tonight with the flags with low encounter rates, they're your saving grace. You have to find a trap tile that's beatable early and also keep an eye out for the one that is going to wreck you early.
I never went to Northwest Castle or Marsh Cave.
Northwest Castle was a dungeon on my map, and I cleared it off, so it must have been a dead end. Marsh Cave was Titan's Tunnel East. I had the ruby, and I never fed it to it.
That's right. I never found the other Titan's Tunnel. And that's something that I try to do in this. I try to skip, 1 or 2 areas and hope that there's nothing there for the time save. It's not the brightest thing to do, but it's certainly a risk and a gamble.
Angry's gonna kick the Excalibur out the window.
Attaboy.
See
ya!
Bye. At least he's having fun.
Angry Canuck has dropped the Excalibur from outer space.
Probably killed an Ankleo down in the desert somewhere. It's just like he throws the sword out the window, he's walking around and suddenly gains like 3,000 experience. Like, what?
Shadow Walker turned in his TNT, right? He has his chime, so the chime's about to... No, he's about to turn in TNT. And he's about to get his chime. So I think Shadow might have just put all the pieces together here. There it is. He's got it. He's got it. So if he's been to Waterfall, he knows that that's TOFR. What, 10 minutes out before he's pulling? Will, unfortunately I got to watch your run through 2FR. You took a left. Do you think after what you've seen, maybe right was the play to go?
Right was definitely the play to go, but it was pretty academic at that point with the levels, the weapons. I had the Vorpal as a backup. I was carrying the Vorpal sword with me, and those enemies, I mean, they don't want anything to do with that, and we were able to get through pretty easily.
Yeah, he didn't see the Kraken punch though.
No.
You want to tell him what happened to me there, Edge?
Oh, please.
It was about 1,000 damage. That's what happened.
I
Did
went
he
left as
not-
well on my first try.
Kraken 2 knocked the _FF directly off your username, Falconic?
Knocked it off. I had three-man pretty much from 25 minutes on, and I went left as well, like you did. Queued up a fast. I was going to punch with my 42 black belt. I was going to invis 2 with the white mage, and right off the bat, 990 hit, took out red mage, and I couldn't hit my reset button fast enough. What you missed on the right side was Lich with nuclear, but that wasn't.
Yeah, the levels were so strong. A couple of Masmoon wielders. I was throwing Zap and Bane out. I felt very, very comfortable.
Like we said earlier, Shadow put the pieces together. He got his chime from Narek. He's about to take on Lich. Lich's not going to last too much longer. Down he goes. So 4 orbs lit. What are we looking at? 205? Not too bad, considering I think this is his very, very first SRO run, very first live run. I don't even know if he's streamed before.
That is correct. Shadow Walker set up his streaming last night, and certainly his SRL. He came into the community. He's certainly been a viewer for quite a long time. I know he's watched a lot of races, but much like we tell a lot of people, Falconic Edge, I mean, our community is absolutely amazing, so welcoming and so friendly. Shadow decided to join, wants to play, and we couldn't, certainly encourage that anymore. Next thing you know, he's playing on Randomania Prime, having a good time, and this is a pretty good showing. I remember my first floor and entrance shuffle was about 2.5 hours, and he's on a pace to demolish that.
Yep, my first floor entrance was against Tristal and a couple other, I think Zara, Tristal, and somebody else. I think I finished at about 220, 230-ish, so really, really great time. But this just goes to show you that he joined the community. He was already in talking to everyone, kind of making friends, picking up tips and tricks, and everyone helped him set up a stream. When I joined the community, I didn't know how to do Twitch. I didn't know how to make a stream, I didn't know anything. All I knew is that I played this game growing up, and I loved it. You guys made it seem like a lot of fun when I was watching it on the VODs and on YouTube and everything. So this just goes to show that if you're out there and you're watching, and you're like I was 2 months ago, who could play the original really, really well, but couldn't really do anything else, come join. You're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to make a lot of friends. You're going to pick up the game. More importantly, I think I'll put myself up as an example. Go watch my first race in the Swiss tournament, and then watch how I'm playing now. And the improvement there is not because I put in the time. I put in a little time. It's because of the community. Everyone teaches and everyone's friendly. So pick it up. Come join us. Join our Discord. Just hang out and chat. We've got people that race every day. We have people that don't race at all. There's something for everyone here.
Jeez, the knight gets socked for 500 damage.
He's going to wish he went right.
Everyone's going left, Falconic.
Yeah, like I said, I went left too for about 3 seconds.
It's always weird, like, seeing what people do for, like, the 4th floor teleporter, how they get there, or whether they go left or right on the Chaos floor. I think I'm the only person that regularly goes right.
It's kind of weird. There's certain floors in the game where you tend to see people roll the same way, like in Mirage, when you're going to the Q block, everybody goes right. Or when you're in the 4th floor shuffle, almost everybody goes up and right. I know you go up and left. I go up and left.
Up and left, yeah.
But there's got to be some psychology to that on Chaos's floor, everybody I've watched, and I mean like 100%, they all go left.
Where was Exit?
Exit was level 8 in Gaia.
No.
And I had the white mage, but I wasn't going to touch the class change. I never found the tail, but even if I did, I wasn't going to do it.
You did not find the tail, Falcon?
I didn't, and I didn't care. I had a black belt. The red mage's only job was to fast, and the white mage's only job was to cast Invis 2.
Shadow Walker with an impressive run here, pulling chaos just over the 2-hour mark, and he's in good shape to take out the Ultimate Fiend.
Yeah, he's putting up a better time than you and I both did on our first floor entrance. And to be broadcasting, I mean, there's not a whole lot of nerves because at the same time, he's just sitting at a computer playing a video game. But in the back of your mind, you do kind of know, people are watching me right now. Every move I make is kind of being judged or watched. So it does kind of impact you a little bit, but he's doing very, very well. And I guarantee you, check in on this guy 2 months from now, and he's going to be a whole different player. Attaboy, Canuck. Take out that Tyro.
All right, and Shadow Walker is in third place with a SRL time of 2:09:31, and we'll try to get him in for an interview as well.
So now the focus shifts to Canuck. Can he put the pieces together before the Czar boss kicks in? GG Shadow.
Oh, thank you. Boy, I feel really silly. Man, if I would have taken the 10 minutes maybe to actually take notes, I would have saved myself about an hour. It felt like.
Yeah, that Sea Shrine floor where the crown was stashed, that seemed to it tripped up not just you but Hangry as well.
Man, I thought it was just going to be key item turn-ins. I saw the what was it, the opal bracelet and the ribbon inside some incentivized chests in Ice and Ordeals, and I had forgotten these are not the same flags that you guys have been running in the tournaments. So I stopped checking chests, thinking, oh, there's nothing else that I need. And then I went everywhere and realized that I needed the chime. I feel like, what time was it when I took down the third fiend? I feel like it was around the 50-minute mark to an hour.
Yeah, you actually took a lead as far as clearing fiend orbs out, and then just that fourth one blocked by the chime. That took the rest of the time there.
Oh.
Shadow Walker, it's Will. GG's, man.
Hi, Will. Thanks.
You're welcome. Was this your first entrance shuffle? Have you played on your own?
I have played the entrance shuffle and floor shuffle casually twice. And neither one of those I really got lost. I don't know whether it was pressure from doing it live, doing it racing. But I could not for the life of me keep track of what floors led where.
Shadow, it's Falconic. Will and I were both talking. The time you put up in your first floor entrance shuffle being broadcast, because it is a whole different beast knowing that people are watching you versus when you're just kind of practicing on your own, was better than he and I both put up in our initials. So I think you have some promise for sure. It sounds like you didn't take notes. You did this blind and still did that time?
Yeah, I did this without any sort of tracker, just going off of memory, which is why I spent almost an hour running in circles around the whole world.
It's even more impressive. Remind me not to play you in the future.
Shadow, there's nothing wrong with running in circles all over the entire world. Minochi85 does it all the time. And he's a very, very good player. But yeah, this is a very impressive time. I think Valconic said he was around the 2:20 to 2:30 mark. The first one that he played, I know I was 2.5 hours without notes. This is definitely encouraging, in my opinion. for you. So, Falconic, I think we got another contender coming up here for a potential, league if we do something like this.
I think we do. The only thing now is he Team Vorpal or is he Team No Sense?
Very important question, Shadow.
I didn't even class change, so I was Team Mazamune.
I can't blame you for not equipping the Vorpal if you can't. I think Will and I both know that had you been able to, you definitely would.
Oh yeah.
So, go ahead, Henry.
Pretty sure I kicked mine off the Sky Tower.
Yeah, you kicked your X-Cal off the Sky Tower, I think.
No, I kicked the Vorpal.
I actually saw Vorpal, and I was full on weapons at that time, and I just left. I didn't care.
Well, Canuck, that's why you got lost. You didn't have the Vorpal to guide you.
Yeah, that was it. Where was that chime at?
Oh boy, so there was a crown inside the floor that is normally before mermaids. And then you had to go fight Astos, give him the crown, and you got the chime. No, you got the TNT into chime.
And then I'm guessing the fourth fiend was behind the chime.
Yep, that's where Lich was.
Yeah, that's what I knew it was there. It was like, how do I get there?
Yeah, it was in Cardia Grassi. Cardia Grassi had the floor just before the mermaids where the TFC is. That's where the crown was. He said to Astos, over to the Dwarf Cave, and then you found Lich, and you were on your way.
So I'm kind of curious, what were your guys' strategies starting off? I went Fighter Rainbow Mage, and there wasn't much for AoE spells in Corneria, so I ran around looking for chests, and I found a Lit 3 staff and just used that to clear my way to victory.
Yeah, I bought a couple of Lit 3 staffs. I took a thief, a red mage, and a white.
On this one, with the flags the way they were, with 20% XP boost per key item and a standard 4x plus 400, it was kind of a no-brainer to do a black belt. So I danned a red mage, I brought red, I did 2 reds, a white, and a black belt, danned a red mage, so the already ludicrous XP would get that black belt to 42, and then Mazmoons and light 3, so I was just punching and swinging, and nothing stood in my way.
After seeing the Mazmoons for sale for quite cheap, I went on a money hunt, and I was looking at doing a melee sort of action. I started to dive a little bit, and a little bit of trouble at the low levels, so I moved on, did some more exploring, and I went to an area that I didn't think any of my opponents would, which was over by the Titans area, Sardis Cave, and that's where I took out Elfland and walked right into the Lit 3 sticks that were even cheaper, and so I was able to use those to really jumpstart the game and try to move forward. But of course I ran into key items. I did the same thing, ordeals and Ice Cave, that just didn't progress. They just, had me spinning my wheels.
Anybody find the eye mages?
I did.
I feel like I must have run into some.
You guys mean you didn't see they had Nuke, Crack, Lit 3, Blaze? They had everything. Like, they wrote me off numerous times.
Oh, wow. I don't think I ever really saw anything that was scary. I found that Lit 3 staff. I was level 1 when I found that Lit 3 staff inside the normally volcano floor before carry. And I picked that up, gave it my weight mage, and I was actually thinking for about 2 minutes leading up to that, how am I going to get some levels? Because I've run around a bunch of places. I was in a Sky Castle floor at level 1.
Yeah, I think I hit up Warmech about 15, 16. That didn't work out very well.
It's so weird. Why is the best sword in the game the only thing lit up on the tracker? Edge, again, thank you so much for commentating with Poogle, who's not here with us. Czar, Randomania, thank you so much for hosting us. This was fun. Hope you guys got to enjoy a lot of the alpha testing here. I think Czar is probably pushing us to move along here. I think they need to set up something else. So any last words from anybody?
Yeah, kids, that's why you take notes.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is.
Just one question for Shadow Walker. Did you know that the Mazmoons were for sale in the weapon shops?
I actually don't think I checked a single weapon shop or armor shop.
Yeah, with the Magic Shuffle and the Item Shuffle, I think you could get Mazmunes and the Lit 3 Stabs for sale.
Yep, that was something I never found out.
Oh yeah, when you have random weapons and armor flag checked and you have item magic checked, the weapons and armor shops are going to be, I think, more important than any magic shop or item shop you're going to find.
Yeah, I really should have paid more attention to the flags going into it.
Yeah, me too. I didn't even read them. I went in on this blind for fun.
I'd also like to thank Randomania, Zardia, Game Boy F9 for certainly hosting us tonight, bringing us, our exhibition here for some of the future matches that we're going to have. The players that played alongside Shadow Walker stepping up and diving right into the water. Canuck, thank you for joining me. Falconic, my friend, thank you. And obviously Rainbow Poogle and Edgeworth, always a pleasure to have you call anything that I'm involved with, so thank you.
Yeah, same here. Thanks everybody for watching, everybody for commentating, you guys for running with me. And, that's about it.
Thanks all. Look forward to the next time.
All right, GG's to everybody. Thanks again to Randomania for hosting us. Any final thoughts from our runners?
I'm off to do the challenge seed.
Yes.
Good luck.
Please join the Discord, do the challenge seeds. They're fun, they're weekly. This week is Weekend at Bernie's. And if you want to know what that's all about, come join us and find out, because I'm not going to spoil it.
Stay tuned. 2018 Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament. Edgeworth, you heard him all night. He's in the Final Four. Moving on, we're going to crown a new champion. He got out of the Red Dragon bracket. Very impressive showing. And it's just, the matches have been amazing. The content, the quality of the matches, the quality of the broadcasts from both Randomania and our other broadcast partner, Speed Gaming, have been absolutely fantastic. And stay with us. It's been awesome, and it's going to get even better.
So good luck, Edge. Very, very well done so far. Wish you all the best.
All right, thanks, guys. And thank you to the viewers for watching. If you like randomizer action, make sure to follow Randomania and all of the Randomania family of channels. We've got this channel and then 2 through 4. So keep an eye out. And have a good night, everybody. We're done here.
Team Steak. Team Vorpal.
Team